You're not too much, and you're not intense. You know what I mean? Hello, collective. It's Kai. Once again, disclaimer. All of my content, anything that I am saying is based on my own experience. I am in no way trying to tell you what to do or what works best for you. So please use your discernment consuming my content and any content in general. You're not too much or too intense or just intense. You know what I mean? Because sometimes we're giving our attention in directions that simply do not have the space. And I'm not judging this other person, but it's truly about how I feel when it comes to this interaction, this connection, this communion. That is where I can allow myself to discern and make small adjustments. Think of a power washer, a pressure washer. You're pointing it in a specific direction. It doesn't have to be completely bombarding this one place and literally to whittle it down. You don't need to do that. Yeah, we're revving it. We're revving it. I was really ready to do this video. I was so fucking ready. Because it's like, I would get so upset. I'd be like, why the fuck? Why do they not like understand how I truly feel? Well, one, let's vocalize here, people. Let's communicate. We are not mind readers. I love when it comes to being woke within the spiritual community because the ego will attach to fucking anything. So when we use things like the let them theory, for example, okay, but let's give it some more context here, people. We have our own lives. We have the things that we consistently do. We have our own conditionings. We have things that we're okay with, things that are in our comfort zone, that make us uncomfortable. So it is not my place to judge someone for how they respond to me, because you know what that shows me? That response shows me so much more about them than it does about me. So I will discern. I will not give people all of me. And I will not victimize myself when I deliberately choose to do that. I was catching myself today. I was like, you know what? I don't know. I like talk like I'm so upset. I talk like I'm so upset. But in reality, I'm actually not. I'm okay with what is being shown to me because I am grateful for all of the different ways that I can actually evolve in my love by adapting, by adjusting, by allowing myself to be. By allowing myself to be these things that I thought were too much. I'm a Scorpio sun and I'm a Scorpio Mercury. I use my natal chart so that I can align myself and truly align with my destiny. As a Leo rising and a Leo North node in the 12th house, honestly, there's so much depth that if someone cannot meet me there, we're not able to have a conversation to the depths of my fucking soul. So when I tell someone something very personal about my life, just because they do not have the space to house that kind of information, it doesn't mean that I'm too much. I'm going to honor the fuck out of my intensity. I'm not going to forsake myself in this process. I will not fail because I will focus in on how I myself am putting me in this situation. I'm placing myself here. So what do? Sometimes I walk away. Sometimes I bear the responsibility. I take accountability. I release the pride and ego. I note that I became very prideful and egoic when it came to talking to this person because it hurt my pride. I have to admit it. You cannot actually address anything if you don't actually acknowledge and admit it. I have to admit, I am pretty intense. And I do attract people. And I do desire someone. It doesn't mean that just because I want it so bad, doesn't mean that I need it. I might really want this person, but it doesn't mean I need them. Because if they can't show up and show out, if they're not going to take a step forward towards me in that way, I'm not going to do anything. Because I've spent so many timed cycles over and over again until I literally felt like absolute fucking shit, man. I felt so embarrassed and ashamed and disregarded. You know why? Because I kept giving someone my attention and my affections when they truly didn't have the space. And I couldn't take the no for an answer. That is where the victim mentality stemmed from. Not giving myself that attention, that affection, and not communicating clearly and following through. When I say communicate clearly, I mean you are literally presenting someone how you can relay information about you, communicate to people, let them know how to treat you with grace. Because truly, allow people grace. They're not going to do everything exactly how you want it to be. You know why? Because they have their own sovereign being. They have the free will to do whatever the fuck they want. And that's how I also protect myself. Not to be defensive. Not to put up walls. Not to lie. That is one of the biggest things, especially as a Scorpio. Don't fucking lie to me. Because I can literally sense it. And just because I sense it doesn't make it the truth. That is how I check my ego. Because I'm like, I don't know any better. If they don't say something that is wrong, once again, it's not my responsibility to speak up for another person. My responsibility is to take care of myself, to create from my core, to continue in this life. Because I'm the one who goes through my day to day. And if I don't do that, then yes, I will put myself into detriment. I will deliberately do that sometimes, even though I do know better. The question is, do I understand better? Do I truly listen to myself, to understand me, not to just hear this shit? Because anyone can come and go in your life. Some people are meant to be there for a season. And it sucks sometimes. Sometimes it really just makes me so sad. It just makes me sad. Grief, that is the love that I'm literally witnessing. That is what it has shown me, is that I really loved this person. She was like, you know how there's those people in your life that just shine so much light and they just make you feel so seen in such a unique way. It's like I've never truly met anyone soul to soul in that way yet. And I refuse to deny the fact that I was searching for that. I was really searching for that. And her soul was still here, and I sense it. And I know that she probably reincarnated too, to be honest. But truly, I'm not going to shit all over that connection just because other people experienced her differently. Do you hear where I'm getting at? Because like that kind of honoring can only be done through me. Only I know what I truly went through. It was so harrowing. It was so harrowing. I felt so hollow, and I felt so whole and holy. And yeah, sometimes I do think like, okay, maybe I did take it very, very far. And sometimes we make choices that we are literally shown the karmic relations. Karma will be served. And I was like, damn, this person reminds me of her essence, but he's a completely different being. And it's crazy because he is in no way similar to her. But when I interact with him, it brings this force, this energetic force within me. It allows me to flower and have this flavor and fragrance, and to have this fire to and will, the creative power within me. How do I discern that when they don't give me as much attention as I would like, right? Let's admit. I redirect. Because truly, rejection is divine redirection. I don't have it anymore. But I had this note that said that. And especially growing up in an environment where I felt like my whole personality, like my depth, was rejected, it's quite ironic to see the pattern of me being drawn to connections that remind me of how my parents treated me. And seeking love within those places. There's also another phrase where they say that you can't heal in the places that hurt you. And even though at first I kind of like denied that a little bit, I was like, what are you talking about? I'm healing perfectly fine. When I finally moved out, I really started to see myself and how I treat me and how I have shown up, but also how I put myself back into that place, into damnation, truly. I damned my own self against me. I pitted myself against me because of how strongly present I was within giving other people my attention when I didn't have the space. I didn't have this space. But I kept housing it because within my culture, at least, I'm Korean American. Within my culture of being Korean, there is this very prominent people-pleasing aspect. Especially being an eldest daughter, it's even more emphasized. To sacrifice yourself for other people. My mom is also a major people pleaser, and I've seen it time and time again, how that has blown up. And so that's why I had this very deep wound with my mother, where I honestly disrespected her a lot. And now when I finally let go of all the blame and all the resentment, I finally saw my parents and I was just like, damn, I have so much respect for you guys, because I would not do it like that. That's truly what it was. I noticed our differences. I saw that, and I didn't put it into this derogatory manner. You know why? Because they're people. Because they're literally just people, and they have never fucking raised me before. So who am I to say that they didn't do a good job? They did a good job. I'm right here. I'm alive. That's all I'm really grateful for, truly, every single day. That there is life here, presently, and that I get to live it. And that I get to live it so fucking good, that's so aligned with me, that makes me feel alive. So that I can look forward to the next day, so that I can treat myself today, so that the tomorrow me can thank the me of today. Anything is possible. You will meet the right people, but the person who directs your attention is you, and that is your duty. Truly. It is no one else's fucking place. That's why. Because the way that you would do it would be so fucking different. The shit that you've had to go through, the ups and downs that you've experienced, the people that you've had to say goodbye to, that you didn't want to say goodbye to, but that you did say goodbye to. The space that you have cultivated and created to care for yourself in that space, to call it home, and to welcome people into your home. It blows my mind when I heal. And then in retrospect, I see the insight so clearly. And I'm like, oh my God, thank God. Thank God I saved myself. Holy shit. Holy fuck, man. Thank God. Because then I wouldn't fucking be here. I literally wouldn't even exist. I would just be whatever kind of remnants whatever remains I have within the memories of people. And I don't mean memories as in events. I mean the feeling of me. I tempered my energy because I realized how much I wasn't respecting me. I wasn't respecting me when I learned that I was giving my attention away once again. And I was like, fuck, man. How many more times are we going to go through this? Like, I can't even give myself shit because I understand the conditionings that are so fucking strong because they're consistent. They say habits die hard. Pain dies hard. If you do not address and feel the pain that has been inflicted, are you truly aware of what you've gone through to get to this point? Because then you would not treat yourself that way. Do you know what I mean? It's that kind of reckoning that I had with myself. And I was like, you know what? I'm not even upset. Like, I'm literally giving this guy so much of my attention. Doesn't deserve it. Bye. I'm going to step back a little bit. It's fine. It doesn't mean that I don't care. I care. I really care. And if I truly, unconditionally love this person, then I'm going to let them free. I'm going to let them free. You know why? Because I'm going to free myself from that trap in my mind. That consistent trap. That's like, oh, yeah, he doesn't give two shits about you. Look at what he's doing right now. And it's like, really, ego? But do you even, like, my heart is literally speaking to my mind. And it's like, but seriously though, the way that he's treated me, gosh, me even talking about this shit is so fucking funny because it feels different now. I processed the shame that I had when it came to liking someone because of the fact that there were many experiences where I told myself that I deserved to be rejected and not accepted in that way. I told myself that because I tried to reason for someone else's choice. Do you see how fucking dumb that is though? Like, do you see how that just doesn't make sense? Why would I give this person's own choice reason when I didn't even ask them? I didn't even ask them truly, like, what's the reason? Like, what is your reason? Because if I was going to allow someone to make their own sovereign choice and I can't even hear their own context, that's where I check my ego once again. That's how I knew that the past attraction that I had, the most recent past one, was very egoic. And I had to go through that. I know that I needed to feel that. What it felt like to try and communicate with someone who just really wasn't even going to allow me the time of day. We're not doing that. We're not going to disrespect our intensity. If I feel very intensely, I actually allow myself to literally let that blood flow through different veins. So different forms of creation. I can communicate and connect with people on this. I can craft. I can write poetry about it. Oh my God. I love the fact that I write poetry about this one, bruh. And I'm like, you don't even know. You don't need to know. That's the thing. You don't need to know. I might want you to know, but I don't need you to know. But what I do need this person to know, which I do plan on explaining myself to him too. Because it's like, he doesn't know. If I don't say shit, then he's never going to know. Thank you, confirmation burp. If I communicate these things, right? How am I constructing this so that these things can inform this person so that we can have a cohesive conversation? Because I learned time and time again, when you're so emotionally stimulated, there is no space. You know why? Because that emotion is demanding you to feel it. So when it comes to this intense emotion that I feel, when it comes to liking someone and being attracted to someone, when I say liking them though, it's truly like, I just love them. And I'm not going to tell them that. As maybe misconstrued that might be, I'm not going to tell them that. Because there's not a safe space that's been provided for me to actually communicate that. That is how I divinely protect my feminine. And my masculine moves forward in this way where it's not personal. It's not. I just can't bring myself back to that place that I know so well. I notice this pattern within me. And if I don't break this cycle, then I will continue. So I'm going to allow myself to feel my intensity, to mitigate this intensity. I'm going to still have that intensity and wield it with strength. Because when people ask for it, I will give it. And if there's energy here that's present, then I will connect with you. And it will be flowing. If it doesn't flow, it won't go. And I'm not going to deny that anymore. If it doesn't flow through me. Because what am I stopping myself from? How am I stopping myself? What am I blocking myself from? By not communicating clearly how I feel and how I honor myself. I build these constructs in my mind. I continue to carry this narrative when in reality, I'm just talking to myself. So I'm not going to treat this person shittily just because I am so used to doing that. I really hope this message came across clearly. Because I don't believe that just because someone responds to you in a certain way where they're like, oh, no, thank you. Right? With all due respect, it's a no thank you from me. I want to respect that because that is them not giving consent. There's so many different levels of consent. But for it to be so disregarded, that is why this construct of things within our consumerist, capitalist society that we live, it's a very evident thing. It's so obvious that we want this equal exchange. But when it comes to equity, we all have different needs here, okay? So let's be so fucking for real. I might not need the physical touch, but I do need quality time. Because I can't continue to be in a connection where I feel so insecure to the point where I literally am questioning my own value. No. I'm not okay with that anymore. Because you know what I really learned from my last relationship was that this person felt like they deserved better, but they didn't communicate it. And if they didn't communicate it, then how the fuck was I supposed to know? I'm not going to take responsibility for someone's own inaction. Because if my existence is literally hurting someone, then yes, please walk away from me. Please. That's a really interesting note to end on. Jesus fucking Christ. I'm calling it in, man. I'm calling it in. Lately, I've started to like really turn on my feminine energy. And the reason why I don't do that sometimes is because the feminine energy literally naturally attracts. And when I attract so much attention that I just can't house that all the time. You know what I mean? And especially for the feminine entities out there who have experienced very scary situations of people trying to control you. Honestly, that's what it is. At some points, in some ways. Sorry to speak in such a definitive manner, but like there are so many instances where I recognize like just because I don't respond in a favorable manner when someone's like flirting with me, or like a good example today was like someone was telling me like I was really distracting. I was sitting on the sides and they were playing pickleball and I was waiting for my friend because I wanted to talk to her, and she was in the middle of the match. Then this person comes up to me and says like, oh, you're just so distracting, you know, you're just like doing your hair and everything. I could just tell that they were kind of flirting with me and giving me compliments. And I was kind of shocked because honestly, the reason why my hair is like this right now is because it's so flat right here. I'm getting a haircut soon, guys. It's good. Leo rising, Leo North Node. My mane is so fucking important to me. Anyways. And then later, I just like, I don't know, just because I didn't want to sit next to them, I could just feel that they were shutting down. And with all due respect, that's a very well-warranted response from this individual specifically. So when I think of the reverse card of that, the parallel play, where someone is attracted to me and I say no to them, and then vice versa, if I'm attracted to someone and they say no to me, how would I like them to respond? With grace, goddamn, because it doesn't dictate their value just because I say no to them. That's why I love it when guys come up to me and try to ask me for my number and shit, because I'm like, damn, that takes fucking courage. That takes courage and a good level of confidence. And I'm like, wow, okay, thank you, I appreciate it. I'm not very open to that, but like, I applaud you for doing this. Because the amount of times that I've asked a guy for his number and they have said no, that is so funny to me. Because I also am really recognizing how beyond the surface my attraction is. It's not about the way this person looks. It's about the way they look at me. And that I'm okay with that. So I was just like, you know what? We're going to accept this. We're going to accept this fully, and we're going to actually hone in. We're going to make this into a fucking beautiful craft. I'm going to be a craftsman. I'm going to fucking like, I'm the apprentice to my own master. I'm literally learning all of my skills, and what do you fucking call that shit? Like, no, I'm losing it. It's the word that describes the, I wish I could recall the word. It just fits so perfectly. But when like a master has their own aspects of excellence, things that they're really good at, it doesn't mean that the apprentice is going to take upon the same fucking skills. They will have their own. They will have their own. And that's what it feels like when I face myself all the time, because I'm consistently changing. You know why? Because that is the one permanent thing in life, is change. And I have this word, mujo, which technically it translates to impermanence in Japanese. From Japanese, sorry. And I was just like, it's true though. I want to receive things and be able to let them go. Because that feeling like you are controlled by the things outside of yourself is so sumakyo. I literally feel like I can't breathe. So I'm making a decision. I decided I'm gonna pull back a little bit because I haven't seen this person truly in a minute. And if they're not going to come forward and spend some time with me on a heart-to-heart level, me person-to-person level, if that's not there for them, then that shows me what their priorities are. And it's not personal. And with all due respect, I'm going to respond in kind. I'm a Libra Venus in the 2nd house, okay? I can't literally build value with someone that isn't giving me something. Like, let's be so real. There is exchange. It might not be equal, but there's equity that is attainable by also using your own decision to be something that mitigates. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? I wonder. I'm gonna go do a reading for the collective on TikTok Tarot, which I fucking love. It's my new nighttime ritual. I've started doing this thing where like there's consistent things that I do every single day to show myself love. Movement, nourishment, and play. That's love. I give myself peace. I journal. I write poetry. I read an article. I go on a walk for 30 minutes. I take a big gulp of water the moment I wake up. I brush my teeth right away. These are all very simple things. It's not that they're small, it's that they're simple. And it's a choice. And I know that sometimes when I lay in my bed and then it comes into the day and I see the pattern of how it makes me feel very groggy and shitty and it doesn't set me up for success, my own forms of success, then I'm not gonna fucking continue to do that. Okay? Let's use this information to actually help us, because truly you are not too much and you're not too intense. It's about who you're giving this energy to, because you're talking to the wrong fucking person if you think that you're too much or you're too intense. Trust me when I tell you. I'm getting a little cocky here. Let me take a step back. All right. Thank you so much for being here and allowing me the space to speak. Truly. None of this would literally exist if it wasn't for you guys. And yes, of course, if I didn't exist either, but that's why I'm doing these videos. It's literally a record of my life. And the day that I die, once I die, this is my legacy. This is what it is. And people get to see it beyond my death. I just love that idea. As a Scorpio, as the Scorpionic energy rules the death card, card 13 in the tarot deck. I love it. So thank you for being you. Truly. Seriously. And thank you for being alive. I'm sending you guys so much love and support on your own spiritual journey. Bye, collective.